Hey, what's going on?
Welcome back.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Good. Looks like we're going to have some eventful conversation tonight, huh?
Yeah, so first, I don't even know if I text you this. I'm still bringing Lee with us.
Okay.
I mean, we had him scheduled, so I'm going to go ahead and bring him on first because...
Okay. Oh, he's ready?
Yep. Well, we won't have the normal discussion we would have had with him because of the whole shit that went down, which we will recap here in a second. I just sent Lee that deal, so we'll let him take some time to join us. But,
okay.
I mean, I guess let's get right to it, right?
Sure. I mean, first question, how many Christmas trees do you have?
Same number, dude.
Well, 6, huh?
I'm gold. I am out. I think I'm out of the woods here.
Okay. Well,
I think I'm good.
Anyone listening, it seems like Kyle needs more Christmas trees.
No, you don't have my address. Well, you might have my address, but the normal person doesn't have my address. So I think I'm okay.
I might be willing to sell it.
I have his address. Sell it. So what is it? US Nightvision, right?
Oh yeah, that was quite a shitstorm yesterday.
I mean, this has literally interrupted our entire plans for the day.
Yeah, we were gonna do something else today, but decide to pick up the shitstorm here. So Lee's here, huh?
Yeah.
You want Adam?
Yeah, we'll bring him on and just I mean, obviously we're going to discuss the effects of oil and gas and talk guns and all this stuff, but now we're going to go a little bit different route.
Okay. Hey, what's going on?
Oh man, Lee, your internet.
This might not work. We're going to talk about the oil industry tonight. But...
That dang old Wyoming internet.
Frozen half of his face.
Yeah.
Can you sit on the router?
You might need to hardwire in.
I'm in Wyoming. We don't have good cell phone service here.
So is Lee. Well, Lee Ty. I can't say Lee now because it doesn't work.
He's got a professional studio. I'm in my basement.
Yeah, he's been in here. So I guess, we're going to discuss a little bit about US Nightvision. And our special guest a little later today is going to be Alex Coe, who is the guy that US Nightvision tried to strong arm a little bit.
Yeah, so I have seen what I've seen. I mean, Lee Ty, what's your cliff notes on this? I mean, what have you seen as far as what exactly happened? What's the short version?
US Nightvision tried to. They're the ones that approached Alex and decided to. When Alex politely said he actually can't take them on right now, US Nightvision kind of flew off the handle.
Yeah. Now we're not talking product, really, in my opinion. We're talking
stickers.
Stickers, like vinyl wraps that make your, with all due respect, your shit PBS 14 look like
all this over stickers.
Yeah, I mean, how else do you? It's like somebody getting mad that my wife couldn't make a fucking vinyl shirt. Like,
yeah.
I mean, that's how I see it.
Yeah.
And now, yeah, I mean, they now have. Now, remember, what we're discussing today does not reflect all of US Nightvision, right? We're not. While their representative made them look like an ass, we are not saying they themselves backed this person.
What's his role? What's his role in US Nightvision?
He's the vice president.
Oh. So I mean, so it does represent them.
It does, but
it really does.
Just like if our vice president decided to go off the handle a little bit, we would hope benefit of the doubt. So all we're saying is once US Nightvision gets a hold of this, which they will, this is going to be a one-sided story tonight, right? We only have one of them on this evening. We're open to having the other side on to hear their side, but the evidence is pretty fucking damning.
Yeah, I mean, let me pull up some of the
It's bad, dude. It's
some
like
of the screen grabs that people got
before
from
you
it.
do.
Yeah,
wait,
I saw him.
Baron has taken the place of Todd. Baron is shirtless.
Okay.
We'll get back with you, Baron. Don't worry, you'll come on too.
I mean, that's exciting, I guess.
Oh, you guys got to make sure you read the chat. I can't see the chats coming through, so you guys got to make sure you read those.
Okay. I'm going to share the screen here. There we go. So,
So now who's Weinheimer? Let's start.
I don't know. I think someone just
that
saved
sent
it.
this over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. So, I mean, see, we can see that US Night Vision approached Alex here.
Right.
Yeah.
For mag wraps on Night Vision, and then this guy, this VP guy, left his email here so that Alex can get back to him.
Leave that up. Oh, never mind.
You didn't want to compete with him, right?
No, he
Not
didn't
trying to
have
compete
time.
with you. Just trying to sell your product.
Well, yeah, right. I guess US Night Vision didn't want to compete. They just wanted to be like I want to say like a dealer or of some sort,
Right.
for these stickers or vinyl wraps.
Yeah, that in itself. Okay, so if we pause right here for a second,
Agreed.
That's like it makes no sense to me. That's like you're selling, what, on average on the low end, $500-$600 night vision optics, on the high end, $12,000-$15,000 optics, and on the higher end of the outside the normal consumer, it could be $30,000 plus. And you're trying to get in with somebody to buy $20 stickers. That's retail. A fucking vinyl printer would have been smarter for them. I'm not understanding, and that's why I'm glad we're bringing Alex in, because I'm not understanding the market.
I mean, over $20 stickers, man.
Who
flew off
feels
the
like
handle.
this guy got a bad batch and then just got on Facebook and started blasting? Like, he just got a bad batch, and he was like, I'm gonna try and get these stickers. And
Oh my god!
But
You do that over stickers, man.
now, mind you, these are I don't know. We'll keep going, but my brain does not comprehend.
So in the blue, Alex responded, and he was genuinely really nice about it.
Yeah, seems like.
he was.
Thank you for your interest. I mean, at this time, I'm maintaining full control over manufacturing. It's not really in my best interest to switch vendors, as I've formed a strong relationship with my current manufacturer, and that's a relationship I'll be maintaining. That's a really noble thing of him, right?
And that's loyalty. I mean, you don't see that. Now, just a little bit of backstory, guys. If you're not familiar with the night vision world, I will tell you, you think the gun industry is bad. Night vision has some of the most fly-by-night, sleaziest fucking groups of people I've ever met and ever had to deal with. And I actually don't like dealing with it because there are so many people that give it a bad name. Now, I'm not reflecting on anybody here in this conversation. It's just, this is probably not uncommon. It's a much different world than just general weapons manufacturing industry. It's completely different, but continue.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's currently selling bulk to some of these
Big
guys.
names.
He's got a lot of dealer requests,
Yeah.
but he's restricting them to 6 so he doesn't oversaturate his dealer network. I mean, that's good. Everything he's saying is good and giving him fair reasoning. He doesn't expect to sign any more until second quarter of 2021.
Right.
Perfectly okay. And
Quality control.
he's flattering US Night Vision. I've always held US Night Vision in high regard. And when the time comes to bringing in more dealers, I would very much like US Night Vision to be on board. Okay. That's very, very reasonable.
Right. Ty, would you rather have somebody do a pre-order and drag your ass along for 6 to 8 months until we could fill the order, or simply just say no, well, let's wait until I can get caught up? That's how I see it.
Yeah. I think what he's doing is pretty pretty normal for a small shop. He just doesn't want to overextend, and I get it.
It's quality control.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. And I think anyone that's normal will be okay with that.
Yeah.
Well, it runs a business. Yeah.
So,
Again,
this next part's when he kind of starts flying off the handle. When he saw this response from Alex.
Before you move on, let's remind everybody joining us because the numbers are going up continually.
Okay.
We're talking about vinyl stickers. I'll say that 50 times tonight because we're not talking about housings or tubes we're talking about stickers. But I apologize. Go ahead, Lita.
Oh yeah. So let me move on to this next part. So it starts getting a little bit threatening here. I've been printing and plotting products like my mag wraps, which are in every Cabela's location across the country. I make these in-house. If you don't think I don't have all these patterns already on deck, I will come out with more patterns and products than you can ever imagine. Thanks for playing. I tried to work with you. Godspeed. You just created a monster.
What a douche.
So okay, let's Lita, you can speak to this, dude.
Chris Bird, eat my entire ass.
Somebody said it.
So if you take this into consideration, first off, I have been printing and plotting products and mag reps, blah blah blah. Let's be clear. Printing and plotting, it costs about the same as a really nice printer, right? Like a standard color jet fucking printer. But we'll move past that. He can't print the patterns and products that the guy we're going to speak to later has created because, I mean, just under general copyright laws, we don't even have to get into anything more. He's protected if he was the one that launched it. So, no, he can't do that. But he seems to think he can.
And then he says he'll flood the market without lead times, have more runs of multicam that can be plotted tomorrow. You can't.
Multicam.
It's magic.
Plus so many more patterns. You should have worked with me. It's just business.
So he didn't try to communicate. It was just like, oh, you didn't just say, fuck yeah, daddy, hit me with it. You just went to meltdown mode.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? That's how I'm seeing it.
No, that's right. That's accurate.
It's like getting denied for the prom or something, and then you just flying off the handle, man.
Yeah, you go shit on their front porch and
yeah, man. Craziness.
So where does it go from here?
I don't know. Let's see.
But I mean, do you guys think literally when you read through that first set of messages, don't you think that he's maybe sauced up?
He could very well be. I mean, we're talking about Thanksgiving, right? He might start drinking early.
What time was it? Do you have a timestamp on there?
This was earlier in the day.
Here's his.
Dude, this wasn't 10 o'clock last night. This was yeah. Oh,
See,
yeah.
I'm picturing the owner of Q at 11 p.m. in his hot tub, and firing these things off real quick.
Dude, and if it was Q, I don't think any of us would have really flipped the script. We've been like, you know what?
No, yeah, it is what it is, right?
Yeah. I mean, our dynamic here is kind of
I mean, and then he goes on. It's just 3M vinyl, bro. I got 30K worth of IJ180. I don't even know what that means, but I'm assuming that's the product. 8915 in stock, brother.
Weird flex, but
he's brother.
Now, mind you, 30K in vinyl is. I mean, he's got quite a few rolls, but again, it's stickers.
That's a lot of stickers, man.
Yeah, but you buy a roll at a time. He's probably putting 30K in a retail front, right? Not in 30,000 in product. He's putting 30,000 on the retail side, which is probably 100 stickers. By the way, they seem to sell them.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what's next. And then and now Alex responds.
So this is at 4:24 a.m. So we are now into the evening because Alex didn't respond for quite some time because, by the way I understand it, he was trying to calculate what he was going to say.
Yeah, so I guess you said I didn't say I didn't want to have you as a dealer. I simply said I couldn't take you on at this time. So just calm and collected.
Sure.
This is what a normal person would say. If this is really the route you wish to go, then so be it. I've done my best to be polite to every dealer that has shown interest, but I couldn't take on at the time, including you, US Night Vision. Every single one except you has been gracious about it and understood my predicament. I'm a small company of one person trying to make my way, but clearly you're into strong arm tactics. Noted. It's sad you chose to take this route, essentially telling me that I have to play the game by your rules or you'll crush a small American business. So you know what? Go ahead, do it. But the industry and where was I? But the industry, I don't know, and community will know that know what you've done, and I will make sure US Night Vision is exposed for such behavior. And now we're here today.
So let's pause for a second, because he listed off a bunch of really top names, a bunch of names that are respected, whether we like them or not. They're all respected companies in the industry, no matter which way you split it. He's a one-man show.
Yeah.
He has all those accounts. And instead of what most people would have done in the climate we're in right now, in the market we're in, they would have taken a deposit or something from US Night Vision and strung them along for months until they could fulfill the order. Instead, he was honest and was like, dude, I don't want to do that to you. I want to wait till I get caught up and then we'll talk, right? That's how I see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm going to send Alex, I think we've recapped it. I'm going to send Alex the link.
And then I guess later on, when this was posted and read by a bunch of people, Chris Bird, the VP of US Night Vision, made a apology, which was
kind of.
Yeah, it's almost like a backhand apology.
Sorry, I fucked your couch. Like,
that was like a hands down the epitome of backpedaling.
Oh yeah, crawfishing like a motherfucker.
Yeah,
we say down here. Like,
yeah.
Come on.
I like the like he fucked your couch though. That was a good one.
You intentionally did something, and then you pretended as if he had given like one or two sentences and said that he was misunderstood. I get misunderstood all the time. I understand. But
or listen, I dove off into the bottle way too early in the morning. Like my
fair.
bad.
You know what? That would have cleared everything. Everyone would be like, okay, we understand.
Now, mind you, we'll ask Alex, but from what I've heard so far is he is no longer with US Night Vision. I don't know that to be fact, but that's one rumor I heard. And again, we'd love to have US Night Vision on to represent themselves later, because not necessarily tonight, but on another episode.
We got Alex on here. Let's get him on, huh?
Hey, and let me say one thing real quick. I made the joke about the owner of Q. I'm a Q whore. I love their product.
It's
and
true.
I actually even I love watching the 2-second or 10-second clips every night. But it's hilarious to me. I just pictured him in a hot tub, like typing this shit up. So
I think that's fair. And had he just said that, I would have been like, dude.
Yeah, right.
I feel you completely.
All right, let me get Alex on here.
Yep.
Hey, what's going on, Alex? Thanks for coming on.
Hey, guys. Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, been pretty eventful, huh?
Yeah, dude, it's been a pretty crazy 48 hours, I guess you can say. It's been actually longer for me because it all kind of started, actually pretty much 48 hours. It all started basically the night before Thanksgiving at about this time, when he sent me a message from US Night Vision, and I didn't really see it for like several hours. And it just kind of went out of control from there. It's very odd.
You're busy, right? I mean, you said you're a one-man show in this. I mean, that's good, right?
Yeah, it's a great problem to have. It's someone was asking me today how this whole thing started, just with Nacorium, and I've been working on this sort of concept for a couple of years now. It came to me, and then I kind of just didn't do anything, and I just work freelance for a lot of my time, a lot of my work. And so I kind of sat on it, and then I revisited it probably several months ago. I started revisiting it, and I started working on it. And I'm like, let's see if I can actually make this. You know, it was a pretty cool idea. I started posting some pictures of like how I was developing the product and what I wanted to do. And I was getting really good feedback. And it was mostly just me saying, hey, check it out. I think this is pretty cool. And then enough people started pushing me like, dude, you should try to make this as an actual product. And I was like, okay, I could probably do that. And then I kind of going through the whole idea of like what it would take to actually produce hundreds to thousands of units for people to wrap their noodles with. And I'm like, man, it's gonna be a lot of work. So I started talking to a vendor that was not affiliated with any of this kind of stuff, but they're able to do production for me. So I do all the sampling, I do all the testing, and I make samples at home, and then I've got it down pat. Like I can look at a device and I can pretty much figure out how I'm going to wrap it, and then I actually have complete wraps done within like probably a few hours.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's just pretty fast. My buddy Nick Chen, he's a writer for the Firearm blog. He's very, very well known in Nightvision, but also in a lot of other circles. And he has like a crazy amount of Nightvision gear. And he trusts me because he also knows where I live, so he knows he can hunt me down. And probably about 10 days ago, he drove down just to visit family, and he was flying out to a FN media day shoot, and he was just like, hey, check it out, and just literally dropped off like $100,000 worth of gear of Nightvision gear on my doorstep. So then like I just spent like that whole week prior basically just going very, very quickly through all the different devices he had and just kind of templatizing and because I have to have a physical sample. I can't look at a CAD file and be like, I need this is how I'm going to do it. There's a lot of refinement. The material does and does not want to like wrap in certain ways. So
it's vinyl, so you're not cutting with precision here. It's got some wiggle room here. So you have to make sure you know what you're doing.
Yeah, and the thing is with vinyl is that it will contour certain things. Like some people are saying to me, it's like, can you just do a helmet? And I'm like, yeah, I could do a helmet, but it's not like I'm taking like a sheet. Like try to take the sheet of paper and then just like putting it over a helmet. It's not going to happen. You have to have relief cuts. You got to do certain things, and I am investigating that. And I'm not really talking about that much, but I am investigating that. But there's ways to be able to wrap something in such a way that it's smart and it'll give you good coverage. But you know, for example, like here's my RMVGs, right?
That's pretty cool.
RMVGs by a company called Acton Black. It's a ruggedized night vision device. Pretty popular because they're not articulating pods, but they work extremely well. Basically, you turn these sort of little things to adjust for the interpupillary spacing between the eyes, and you can adjust them to you. And I wrap them, and they're like, you know, wrapping a cylinder is easy. Wrapping things like certain other areas, but also there's going to be certain areas of a device that's going to have like a lot of repeated abuse just through, like, for example, the power switch or other areas, right? It's going to get a lot of abuse. So it's not just taking a vinyl material and just wrapping it and just being like, we're good. It's about doing it in smart ways that will give the consumer a well adhesive, like a product that has good adhesion that will last for a long time. I do consider them wear products. But anyway, so long story short, I started wrapping devices, and a few months ago, I still wasn't sure if I was going to do it. And then enough of my friends, enough industry guys I know kind of pushed me to do it. And I was like, all right, I guess I'm going to do this. So I did it, and then it was very, very small. I wasn't trying to push it hard. And then a few dealers, because I'm on some night vision forums, which is where we're going to go with this. But I'm on a few night vision forums, and they reached out, and some dealers, Steel Industries, Goonan Gear, my buddy Nick with VF1, and a few other places, they reached out to me. And eventually TMVC reached out to me too. And I've been buying stuff from TMVC for years. But they all reached out to me, and they're like, hey, we are interested in carrying the product. And I'm like, sweet, cool. That's awesome, because I'm a one-man show. And even though I don't do the volume production myself, I do all the development myself, like at home, like I'm working on stuff, just like everyone else is working at home doing their things. But I'm doing all development, and I'm trying to figure out like pricing structures. And originally I was going to try and price it a certain way. And then I'm like, well, I got to make sure that dealers have certain margins. And then that's like a whole thing that like I was just not prepared for, because I've always worked freelance for the last few years. And working freelance, I'm basically like, I provide a service, You tell me what you need, I do it, and then you pay the bill, hopefully, and then we go from there. But like now, I'm actually trying to build a business where I'm trying to make a product, and I'm trying to sell through dealers. And so they reached out to me, and I started. I shipped several hundred wraps to all the different vendors. Like each vendor was like, "Hey, we'll take your entire inventory," and I'm like,
So,
"That's
Alex,
sweet."
let me interrupt you for just a second.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You've named a ton of big names here.
Yeah.
But, and not to take away from what you're doing, obviously it's working. It seems to be a wonderful product. It just, I haven't put my hands on them yet, so I don't really know. Lee Tai, I know hasn't either, but it sounds like a good product. A couple questions. Number one is, how new is this as far as going through distribution for you?
How new is this in far in terms of going
when did you start setting up guys like TNVC, Weapons Outfitters, all those people that you listed? How new are those relationships as far as buying from you?
Very new. Okay, so I to this day I've sent a bunch of samples out to people,
sure,
like to companies, and a few to buddies who are like either like legit door kickers or like you know I got buddies in a lot of different sort of mill as well as LE departments.
Right.
And so I sent a bunch out, and I'm like, you know, it's great for guys who just want to have cool kit and exercise the second amendment right and do all the things, or the mill centers or whatever. But I wanted to give it to guys as well who I knew would be putting this on work gear. Right. And they'd be using it in a work capacity because, you know, they're pretty hard on their stuff, right? You know, they have to be hands-on with a lot of stuff, and they're using it, like especially guys who are working like SF, or even guys who are working like high-risk warrants. These are guys that are using this for long durations, right? They're using it in harm's way.
You want to have it tested by people who actually use it hard. I mean, that
exactly.
But what?
So,
so
to answer your question, basically, I never really started selling them, and then I started posting pictures, and then enough vendors started reaching out to me while I was posting on the Nightvision forum. They're like, "Hey, we really like what you're doing, and we want to sell your product." And at that point, I was just thinking like, I'm just going to make them like made to order kind of scenario as people post their order, and then when the dealers started reaching out, they're like, you know. Steel, for example, Steel Industries, Dominic Steel, he was like, we want exclusivity. I'm like, well, I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. I'm like, you know, I think that's really cool. And I didn't really know Steel very well at the time, but I've gotten to know him a lot better since. And so pretty much they were all really, really excited about it. And I was very much got a sort of push to push further with the business. So then at that point, I'm like, okay, I got to figure out how to make production. I need to figure out how to make 1,000 units. Because me making 1,000 units at home is going to be pretty brutal.
Yeah, right? Dude, weeding is awful. Like,
yes,
my wife owns a t-shirt business, and weeding is the worst fucking thing on the planet. Like,
dude. So I've had to make quite a lot of samples at home once, because each time I do refinement, I need to figure out like. Originally, my SKUs actually had the version numbers in them, and then like the version numbers are getting pretty long because I was just like, I got to keep figuring this out, and I got to keep refining, getting better product. And then I started sending out a lot of samples, and as I'm sending out samples, I would send out sample packs for like low-hanging fruit of DTNVGs, RNVGs, and PVS-14s, because that's generally what most people have nowadays. That's like what the big sellers are. So I sent out these sample packs to all these different dealers, and as I'm sending out sample packs, I'm having to at home on my own plotter basically cut, weed, package. Like here's one of the samples I would send out. Basically, it's like everything's precision cut, and this is my home precision cutter, right? This is just me doing it at home, and the end product that the vendors make is exactly the same. It's actually better than what I'm sending to vendors. Better cut because they know the exact depth that is to get it, so that they don't have as much of a hassle with weeding. And they have a lot more experience with that. So I'm glad that I found them to do that. So that's when I kind of had to start figuring out how to figure out pricing and ramping up and everything. So I sent out samples to a bunch of different dealers. Dealers looked at it, they loved it, and they started placing orders. I sent out inventory to pretty much probably about 4 or 5 dealers, And the 3 that jumped on was VF1 Systems, which is kind of a new kid on the block, but is run by my buddy Nick and his buddy Warren. And then they're really good friends with Roy Lynn over at Weapon Outfitters, who's another good guy, and I've met Roy a few times now. And but before that, Steel Industries and Goonin Gear, they jumped on like very early on as well. So these guys were like, we need to buy in bulk. So I'm like, okay, how do I figure that out? I figured it out. Start sending orders. I started making orders, and then basically I sent them all like a few hundred units each. They all received them. They all started selling them. Steel was pretty fast on the shipment. They're like, here's a FedEx number, have it shipped to us overnight. I'm like, dude, okay. So I sent it to him. He listed it, and within a few, and then Joe over at Grin and Gear, he got his a few days later, and then he listed his, and then pretty much everyone was sold out on like 90% of the inventory in the first like couple hours, which is amazing.
Alex, I don't want to interrupt you too much, but I do want to get.
Go ahead.
I want to get to the nitty gritty here. I mean, honestly, by the way it sounds to me, you're a new business.
Yep.
Right. And again, for those of us just joining us, you're not selling housings or tubes, and not to discredit your business. Your business is genius, dude. Like, I should have thought about it years ago. And we discussed making wraps, but we just never wanted to stick with it because it just was so much work. But
it's a super niche product in the super niche industry.
It is. And there's so many variables. Like, but anyhow, I just want everybody to understand, like, you're a new business.
Yeah.
From the messages that we have seen, albeit one-sided, we have seen both sides of the communication, and you didn't say get fucked. You were like, dude, I just
really polite about it.
Yeah, like I'm really impressed with your composure, because the first message probably would have been comparable to yours. The second message probably would have been a fucking dick pic and a bottle of whiskey, and been like, because how do you come at somebody like that when all you're saying is what I think is normal? And when I say normal, I mean like what has become the new normal is they expected you to just bend over, say yes.
Yeah.
What would have happened was you would have taken pre-orders or put a blanket PO into the system, and then they would have waited months, and then they would have been upset because you couldn't refill that. So, I mean, I appreciate the integrity that you showed, but just by saying, I don't have the capabilities right now, right?
Yeah. So that's exactly the situation. So, you know, when I first started taking on dealers, I was like, you know, I'll take on all dealers. But every last one, you're interested, let's do it. And I started figuring out a pricing structure, and like, I was like, you know, minimums of 20 and up to 100 and whatever. And I was trying to figure it out. And eventually I talked to the dealers that I did have signed on. And I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to do a flat tier, like everyone pays the same thing, and that is what it is. And then here's the MSRP, and it's actually not even an MSRP, it's a map, because I don't want people like basically screwing each other over in terms of dealers and stuff like that. Right. So that's kind of where we were at. And I had a lot of dealers applying, and it was awesome. And some were well-known dealers, and some were lesser-known dealers, and some were probably just guys who were like running business out of their houses, which I have no problems as a guy running a business out of my house. Sure. Right? That was not a problem. My thing was that it was twofold, and I actually said this in my message to Chris Bird, was first of all, like, you know, my dealers are being extremely supportive of me since day one. And I wanted to bring them on, but I also didn't want to oversaturate the market. Right, I didn't want and then the other thing is, what I've seen it, having had many friends who work in business, is that when you have a crap load of dealers, trying to maintain MAP is really hard. Right, it is really, really hard, because what happens is someone will be like, I'm just going to sell for whatever, and I'm going to keep doing it, and then when I get caught, I'm just gonna plead ignorance, and then that is what it is. Right. Right. So I'm just like, I didn't want to deal with that. I just really didn't want to deal with that. And I knew that, like, just minimizing it to like the 4 original and then now to 6 maximum dealers, I was able to maintain really good control of that. So that was really important to me. And then I had a lot of people interested, and I pretty much told every single one the same thing that I told Chris, you know, and it was basically like, hey man, well, he started off with, hey, we run a business. We make mag wraps. We make we're in everywhere. We're in Cabela's. We're doing this. We're doing that.
Right.
And we want to help you with your manufacturing. We can actually do all this stuff. We have the capability to do everything. I have tons of vinyl, blah, blah, blah. It's like hard sell. And I'm like, that's really cool. There's really no benefit to me switching vendors, right? Especially the vendor I'm working with is no way affiliated with Nightvision, right?
Just to interrupt you, Alex, when you say vendors, what do you see? Because let's be honest here. While I not only appreciate and respect your responses and your business, and I mean, dude, I'm a pro staff member for Nightvision Outfitters. I've been there since the start. We have sold Lord knows how many products, but the market is rather saturated right now. The one common denominator that you have is you figured out a pattern you could put on. It doesn't matter the brand. It doesn't matter if they're imported Russian tubes being built by somebody in their garage, which is sadly a lot of what's getting released right now, or if it's true L3 branded type items. So when they approached you, do you see them as them reaching out as like they wanted to take over your printing? Because he mentioned he had a plotter and vinyl, and he tried to find you for no fucking reason.
It's funny, dude.
Let's focus on that because I have so many questions.
Did you read to the audience what he originally wrote?
We did. Right before we brought you on. Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Now,
so
what you sent us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so that
whole exchange that you had with him through the messenger system.
Yeah, I never done a sort of screen capture of my phone in terms of video screen capture, and I my buddy Joe over at Gunning Gear, he sent me some videos in the past showing his videos and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh, I should be able to figure it out. So I figured it out, and I was like, okay, so because the thing is, a lot of people when you're trying to present like evidence, right, per se, you want to you send screen captures, but the thing is, like a lot of people are like, well, maybe you just snipped out this one section, maybe you deleted this one message, right? And like, so I took screen captures because I'm like, I didn't know if I was going to lose any of that stuff. Right. And then the other thing I did was I figured out how to do the video screen capture of the screen, and then basically I just scroll through the entire message. I'm like, here you go. There's nothing missing here. Everything is in detail. You can basically glean from this whatever it is you think is going on. I have my opinions, but I wanted people to come up with their own opinions on it.
Right. I don't think that anybody's questioning your integrity. I mean, we've got three people sitting here.
I've got a clear conscience, dude. I got a clear conscience. I think you
should.
Yeah, I mean, you deal with shit that is 200-300 times the size of this every day. I don't see any sort of infidelity on his part, if you want to word it that way, right?
Yeah, I mean, is there any way? I mean, he kind of threatens your livelihood in terms of being able to take over your, I'm going to go and with my printers and all the product that I have, I'm going to take over. Is there any way that he can do that? Or do you have something specific that you do that he could not replicate?
That's a really good question. Okay. So like
simple
bullshit,
Alex.
Yeah.
Not
simple action.
Don't give away the secret
ingredient.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here. I'm looking at my wrap, and I'm like, could someone replicate this? It's like it's vinyl, and it's specifically shaped cuts, right? That's fundamentally what it is. The problem is this: it's like how you cut, and how you here's a PVS-31, right? How you cut and how you wrap a device is going to be very, very unique, right? So. Like if he was to basically buy it and he was just to try and sort of like trace over it, and he could probably do that. It's not impossible. Anyone can do that. The thing is, it's just like my original goal. And people ask me like, "Did you patent? Did you do copyright? Did you do this?" I'm like, my original goal was to get enough product out there so that like there's enough saturation in the market, so that if someone does try to rip me off, that people would be like, "Dude, you are totally ripping off Alex over in the Aquarium. That is messed up."
Alex, let me interrupt you there. I'll tell you honestly, and Lee and Lita, you can agree with me or not, but for me, that was kind of your first mistake on this, because you understand you brought something to the market that has yet to be done on a large scale, right?
I mean, I'm not the very first one. I mean, let's be honest. Gearskins has
You did it
done
better.
like their stuff.
You're not. You're the first one to bring in the big guys, though.
Right.
So that's my thing now. The other aspect of this is just general copyright and intellectual property rights.
Right.
Cover you to a certain extent, you know. I mean, not doesn't fully cover you. You can just go walk around and say "fuck you," I win, but
Right.
to give you protection. But I mean, Alex, I'll buy one at the end of this video. I know Lee Ty will. I know I will.
I will.
So I mean, I can speak for all three of us. When we will all buy one. Now I know you have a heavy workload. I mean, you know, US Nightvision just picked you up or whatever, but we want to. I want to try one because I can't speak. I can't speak to the quality of them, but for the most part, vinyl is vinyl. So it's talking about the product is a genius idea. It works perfectly. You spent the time to take the measurements and essentially make it so a plotter can cut it, which is, I don't know how you have the patience.
I'm actually very impatient. I actually don't have a.
Then how the fuck
I need
do this? Like,
how do I do this?
Yes.
I look at a device. I look at anything, be it an optic. Like I did a PVS 27, which is like those big old clip-ons. And my buddy Nick sent me one, and he's like, "You should do this." Or he had like some. He had actually some Call of Duty night vision, like those little things that are included with the game. And he's like, "Could you wrap this?" I'm like,
"We gotta go." No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Okay. And he's like, "Can you wrap this?" I'm like, "I can wrap a lot of things, dude." I'm like, it just takes time and it takes energy, and it's just like figuring out templates and patterns. And it's not hard for me because I kind of, the way I visualize things is like, how would I wrap this with good surface coverage, right? And the thing is with what they're doing with mag wraps, I don't want to crap on anyone's product, but it's just like, it's basically a sheet, right? He gives a consumer a sheet and they just wrap the product, okay? And I've seen a lot of people send me pictures of it and they're like, dude, it's like, it is a lot of trimming, it's a lot of this, a lot of that. I didn't want to deal with it. I wanted to make a product that is precision cut from the get-go that basically someone can take, as long as they do good sort of surface prep and clean their devices from all of this sort of whatever stuff they have on there, and then just basically apply the product and they should get a consistent, nice result every single time. And that was my thing. So when Chris came along and he's like, hey, we have the ability to print, cut, and do all these different things, and like, you know, we can work with you to do all these different things. I'm like, hey, that's really cool, but it's not really in my best interest. There's nothing for me to gain by working with him in terms of a manufacturing production capacity. I have a vendor that I've formed a really strong relationship with, who is also a vendor who's not potentially a competitor, because they are a vendor who's basically going to just do manufacturing, and they deal with a lot of things in all different industries. So for me, it's just like, I didn't see them as competitors versus...
Not to be disrespectful, but we have to keep you on track here, because you have a ton of comments actually rolling in right now asking questions that I feel like pertain to you. And just a reminder, dude, like, you're not under interrogation here. A lot of these questions are general.
I'm an open book, so ask me questions. I'll do my best to answer them as best I can.
Ever apologize to you?
It seems like it.
I sent you, Kyle, right before this podcast. Basically,
can we share that?
Yeah, you guys can share. I think I sent. He basically so he made 2 apology posts.
He fucking crawfish, dude. That wasn't an apology. I'll say it.
Yeah.
What's he gonna do?
He made 2.
You can't sue Zero, bro. Like, crawfish is what he did, which is, to me, the most disrespectful part of this, because you didn't respond with "fuck you, I have enough business." You responded in the most politically correct way I could ever imagine. So, but go ahead.
Yeah, so he posted basically, and I sent it to you, and it's basically the same post that he made the original apology post on the Nightvision 101 page, which is basically like, you know, you guys really ran me up a fat flagpole, like I'm really dicked over in this entire thing, and I issued an apology. By saying I have issued an apology is not actually an apology, right?
You think?
It is also not acceptance that you've actually done anything wrong. It's just simply like I'm getting fucking dragged here, and I don't want to get dragged anymore.
So
And I was never going to apologize because like this is just standard par for the course for me.
The best, hands down, the best analyzation of
Yeah.
a non-apology that I've ever heard
Yeah.
in my entire life.
So
100%.
It's like yelling at someone, I'm apologizing, but I'm not really fucking apologizing. I just want this fucking thing to be over with.
yeah, so I just posted his apology to you here. On
I
the
told you that earlier. It's like beating your wife, punching her, and as she's on the floor going, "You made me apologize." Like, no, that's not. I said I was sorry as you're striking. Like, come
But
on.
he doesn't even say he's sorry. That's the messed up thing, Kyle. I issue a formal apology is not saying sorry. It's basically saying like, hey man, like you put me on blast and like I'm getting fucking dragged for it. So yeah, that kind of sucks.
Let me read
But,
this apology that he made. He said,
Okay.
"A confidential transmission, bro. Fight battles
Yeah.
like a man. Call me. Now you made it public. All good. I hope it works for all 12 people on that forum. That was a bad mistake." Man.
This was at
33,000 posters in that forum disagree, but okay.
1:28 p.m.
You didn't even reply, and he just kept going.
Arn,
I issued a formal apology. Not sure what it's worth. You really ran me up the flagpole. Not the first time. My
Your
office plans
thing is
to make
gone.
more products and lower your cogs. I have many patterns and have access to many more. I won't compete with you. Very sorry. And then
So that's his first apology, and that's the first one. That's the same one that he put on the original Nightvision 101 forum, right? And everyone saw that for the bullshit, fucked up apology that it is.
Yeah.
It is not an apology. It is basically like you guys fucking caught me. Like you guys look behind the curtain and you saw what a piece of shit I am. I'm not saying that he's a piece of shit, but that's a real piece of shit thing to do.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, and then now he wants it to stop, and I'm just like, you know what? I don't want to feed into this. I don't want to feed into his ego. I don't want to feed into any of this.
I'm glad
I'm
you
like-
didn't respond to any of this.
Oh, dude,
I just didn't want to.
we're pissing kerosene on a fire right now. But
Hey, hold on. What's the timestamp on that? On
dude,
those apologies.
1:28 p.m. Harns, 1:28
Yeah.
p.m. is when I issued and a formal apology started. It was middle of the day, dude.
Yeah,
8
dude.
p.m.
Someone's asking me about the timeline of this, and I was trying to look through, and I'll see if I can find his message.
Yeah, Alex,
but
if you could,
I'm just saying that's a lot of time. That's a lot of hairspray a guy could drink in 4 hours.
it was
Alex,
yeah, it's
while you calculate that real quick, Harns.
Yeah.
I mean, and Lita, give me your thing here. I look at the timestamps here. Yesterday at 1:28 p.m. is when I issued an apology started, but then 12:27 a.m. is when I've apologized up one side and down the other, whatever. So he's been dwelling on this now for 18 hours. So. Like,
No, the guy was busted, and he was trying to figure out a way out where he could save himself and
exactly.
and try and save face with not only the public forum but
Yeah.
also here. And I mean, and he obviously he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
yeah, because I'm looking at my messages here, and his original "Hey, can I get signed up?" was on Wednesday night at 8:14 p.m. I didn't see it because I was working until and then I saw it at about 11:18 p.m. that night, and then I was like, "Hey, thanks for your interest. I'm not saying no. I'm just saying I can't take you on at this time, right? But thanks very much, and I'll let you know because I do want to bring you on. I wasn't rude, as everyone sees, right? And then at that night at 1:20 p.m., 1:20 a.m. That's when he goes off on me initially, and he basically he goes mental, right? And then I didn't see it because I've been working, dude. I've been working every day, no joke, until probably about 6 a.m. And then I go to bed and I wake up a few hours later and I'm just back at it. I'm working between the website, between trying to develop just those install videos. They take a long time and everything. Photography, just decent photography, so that it will sell the product. So I'm working every day, and then I look at my phone. I'm like, I'll just go check out my phone, see if anything happened. And then I see that at 4 a.m. And then at 4 a.m., I'm like, what the F? And then so I replied to him. I'm like, hey, man, like, I didn't say I didn't want you to be a dealer. I'm like, but at that point, I was just like, hey, man, this guy's going to try to destroy me. So at about 4:30 a.m. Pacific time, I'm like freaking out. I'm like, what the F am I going to do? And I reach out to a few friends, and a few friends are like, hey, there's probably nothing to worry about. This is kind of his MO. And I'm like, well, I don't know if it's his MO. Yeah, so it's all from what I'm hearing, right? But apparently a lot of people reached out to me. They're like, this is not new.
So Alex, I actually just reached out to you. Well, trying to stay on kind of topic here. We're not, just to be clear, we're not trying to make US Nightvision sound like the bad guys. Well, I mean,
no, but their VP is an asshole.
Public. Yeah, I mean,
and I'm not associated with desktop shots. Just
no, he's associated. Whatever he says is what happens. But
disavowed.
So did US Nightvision? Anyone else from US Nightvision approach you, Alex?
No.
But what does this guy do for US Nightvision? Do you know?
He's a VP, and from what I understand, he's a co-owner.
Okay.
So what was the duration of the interaction, like from start to finish?
Dude, it was literally like that night. So it was literally that night because I sent that.
How many hours though? I mean, like I'm trying to gauge like maybe what the temperament of this guy was. I mean,
2 days.
Listen, if my mother-in-law is over for Thanksgiving dinner, I might send some shitty text messages too. You know,
that's the thing. A lot of people are like, I've read everything on the forums, and people are like, oh, maybe he was inebriated, maybe it was this, maybe it was that. I'm like, I have no idea what condition the man's state of mind is. I'm not going to conjecture that. All I know is that whatever the case is, he had time to stew on this, right? And he had time to think about what his actions are. And I don't care if someone's, in whatever state of mind is, you got to own your actions. And you got to take responsibility for what you do, right?
So the overall duration from his initial contact to the last
November 25th, sorry, your answer is November 25th, right, to November 27th, which is 2 days. So it was a day and a half, 2 days.
Yeah, I mean, you can walk that off. You can come back from that.
And in mind, he reached Alex. I mean, dude, short answer, he reached out to you at like middle of the day. It wasn't like he reached out to you.
Oh yeah.
Late at night. He wasn't like drunk texting you at 2 a.m. trying to hook up.
No, yeah. So trying to hook up. It's like booty call. It's like, actually, I want to bang the crap out of your raps.
Yeah, and not that takes place, but had that been the case, we would have been like, oh, dude, you don't have a story. Go fuck yourself. Like, he was just drunk. But you can't text me at noon talking shit and follow up at 1 a.m. still talking shit.
Agreed. He, like all his follow-up messages were all like during daylight hours, and it was just like I was basically confronted with like, what do I do? Do I just sit on this? And this like middle of the night, and I reached out to friends, and they were like, hey, you should just either not do anything and just hope it blows over, or you can do something, but you're gonna have to maintain it. I'm like, well, I was pretty depressed. I was just like, man, this is a big company. This is a huge company. They're well known. They've been around for almost 2 decades.
Yeah, you pissed off a really big company.
I guarantee you, because I've been going to SHOT Show for over a decade. I've been going there for probably about 14, 15 years. And I went every year for at least 10 years in a row. And I was super into night vision, but I was too budget conscious back in the day to buy any. So, but eventually I did. But I guarantee you at one point I went by his booth. I guarantee you at one point I probably met the guy. I guarantee you at one point I probably shook his hand and talked to him about night vision. And he probably blew me off like the countless other masses that come up to his booth, because it happens. At SHOT Show, there's tons of people. So I probably have experience. I don't recall any experience with him, and I'm sure he doesn't recall me. I have no negative experience with the man. I have no negative experience with the US Night Vision.
No,
I've never bought it.
You do.
I kind of do now. I do now. I do know. Yeah.
Lesson of the day is no matter how long you've been around, no matter how big your company gets, don't turn into a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't do shitty things.
Yeah.
If I had a mic, I would just. I mean, I do, but it's on a thing.
Yeah.
So, Alex, what is your website, and are you taking on any new dealers? What's your website, or what is your dealers' websites? Where can guys go to find these wraps that you've made to purchased for their shitty night vision products or good night vision products. Or I mean, dude, I've researched you. It sounds like you have everything in between, which is, I think, a very niche market because sure, when you look on Facebook, right, it's that flex deal. Everybody's got duals or, you know what I mean? But not everybody has those, but you seem to provide products for every end of the spectrum.
Yeah. The thing is, my first night vision was a PVS 7 Bravo, right? Or 7B is what a lot of people call it. And it's like a super, super old device. But it was cool. I liked it. It was like a great entry. Yeah. It was a great thing. And then eventually at TMVC, I bought a PVS 14, and I had that for over a decade. And I used that like crazy. And I still will comfortably use a mono to this day. And let's be honest, like the 14 is probably the most sort of widespread device that is currently out there in most consumer hands. So I looked at it and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna focus on PVS 14s and DTM and R&Bs, and I kind of diversified beyond that. So I set up the website nocorium.com, NOCORIUM.com.
Yep, hang on.
I'm at
Alex.
Yeah.
Down. Spell it again.
NOCORIUM. I want to make sure I came up with a name that didn't have the word tactical in it, or like I'll shoot you in the face at night kind of name. So I was like, I came up with this name.
Well done.
But I'm not set up for direct sales, and that's the thing. It's kind of a double-edged sword, right? Because like I probably would have made bank.
You said that before you dropped your fucking website, but continue.
Yeah. But so here's the reason. It's because I kind of using the website right now as a info portal for all things related to my products. If you want to figure out how to apply, if you want to see pictures of what it looks like, if you want to see how to apply the wraps onto the devices, you can go to the website and look at this.
What our people want to see is where can they buy these products where a douchebag is not going to tell them that they're too good for them. That's what we're looking for right now.
That's why I'm affiliated with the dealers I'm affiliated with, because which are Goon and Gear, Joe Quinton, good dude, Relic Raptor Solutions, that's Derek Brown, Steel Industries, which is run by Dominic Steele and Duncan Green.
That's Steel at the end, yes.
Steel with an E, STEE.
Yep.
LE Industries. TNVC, and it sounds like Don Edwards over at Greenline and Sam Houston, they're on board. They love it too. So TNVC is signed up. TNVC actually doesn't carry the product right now. They are going to be. They were one of my later additions to the dealer network. So the next production they'll have it.
And then you can go buy them from all these dealers.
Yeah. So right now the guys who have it is probably Goon and Gear, Steel, and VF1 Systems.
Okay.
Weapon Outfitters will have them too in very, very soon.
Okay.
So can you send me a rundown afterwards so we can post it in the comments of just the websites where people can people want to buy these? I mean, to be honest with you, this story interrupted a story that we had earlier, but let's be honest, when you see now again, I will reiterate, in the night vision world, sadly, dude, this isn't breaking news. This is the most, like, help me word it, Harns or Lee Tai. Like, I want to say sleaziest, but there's no other way to fucking say it.
It's the standard, right? I mean, once you have something that somebody else wants,
they'll just take it.
Yeah, or they're going to come at you, and especially if they're bigger, right? Which to that point, Kyle, how many people are watching right now?
26.
26 right now, dude. We had 52.
26. So Alex, do us a favor and print out. Let's do a limited run of not your product, and then all 26 people watching buy it from Alex, and let's ship each one of those stickers to the VP of this company.
That's funny.
Alex, do you smell the top dog of a company in his comments? Because that's where this is coming from. It's like, we're outside of here. We're not big people. We're not big people on here. There's 25 fucking people watching this, but but at the same time, it's quality over.
It's a tight group. It's a good group.
Well, here's the other thing is I'm a pretty open book when it comes to this particular thing. I'm a pretty open book when it comes to business, and I want to be upfront and honest with people. I want people to see it, to basically come to their own conclusions, and also, Kyle, I don't want an apology from the guy. That's not what I'm after. I don't need an apology. I just want him to leave me the fuck alone.
Can you read that comment?
I think that's fair.
No, dude, an apology at this point is nothing more than just him trying to not get us to put our people after him, right?
Yeah, I don't think anybody even listening right now is thinking that damn right this guy should apologize.
Yeah, we don't.
The way the majority of this group works, or the people I think that are watching or reading this whole thing are, we're thinking, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
And so that's where my comment comes from, in terms of print out a sticker that says not your product, and we'll all buy them, and then we'll all pay to have them shipped to our homes, and then we'll all turn around and throw them in another envelope and ship them straight to this guy.
Now, Alex, you do not have to answer that right now. If you choose to,
we'll take that offline.
You could do that offline, and we will make sure they happen. And not only do they happen, but they can come from my wife's spinal cutter. Because guess what?
Okay.
What are you gonna do? Shut me down? Eat a dick, bro. But Alex, just so we're clear, we are offering US Night Vision an opportunity to come on next week and give their side of the story. While that would be absolutely ignorant, because we see the screenshots. We're not going to be the one-sided place where we just side with one person.
Hey, Kyle, hold on. Is it US Night Vision or is it the VP?
Dude, I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but
I bet you it's not the
I mean,
VP.
let's also point out the fact that, like, no one, including Chris Bird himself, is denying that he sent me these messages.
Well, they can't.
yeah, you can't deny a screenshot, dude. Like, come on.
It's not like I doctored it. It's not. Yeah. The Russians did it. It's not like I doctored anything. This is literally what I received, and I put it on display. And I think I didn't put it on Reddit. I didn't put it on ARFCOM. I didn't put it on Sniper's Hide, where a lot of this stuff is now. Basically, there's other people putting that stuff out there. But and I appreciate that. I appreciate everyone putting on blast. My only intent was I want to put this on the Night Vision 101 forum, just so that I can get some exposure and basically say, hey, like, this is what this company is doing. It is not cool. I am not taking this. I am not down with this.
And to be clear, like, even from the beginning, when this whole conversation started, it was never about the company themselves. It was about that specific individual, right? And that's where I think if you have an executive within your company that conducts business in the capacity that this fucktard did, then yeah, he deserves to get run up the flagpole. I mean, the company themselves is an independent. They can't be held liable for, or shouldn't be, I should say, for an individual's actions. But when somebody that represents them in a C-suite type position, then yeah, they're gonna get. They need to come back from that.
Yeah, I mean, even though he might not be representing the company, he kind of is. It's a Night Vision company posting in a Night Vision group, posting about the conversation and apologizing. So it's pretty much kind of US Night Vision.
No, I do agree with you, Lita. And what I'm saying is,
how far
it's up to the company.
How far on the hierarchy do you have to go before the
I mean, if you're really the part owner, you're representing US Night Vision now.
Yeah, so, no doubt. But no company is one specific individual, I guess is what I'm saying. So there's a multitude of people that make up a company, and if you have, especially somebody that's a C-suite that is conducting themselves in the manner that this guy did, then I mean, the company has to come back from that. There's no doubt. But ultimately, it boils down to this guy and how he conducts himself. The company has to work its way back from there.
Yeah, I mean, Alex, let me ask you this. I know I can tell by just your demeanor and the way you tell stories, because if I were you, I would have come in here probably a little bit more aggressive I probably would have motherfucked a few other people, but that's just my demeanor. Your messages reflect exactly what you've shown here today, which is you notice the first 20 minutes of this, you didn't even bring them up. You were simply talking about how you started and what you were going to do in the future and who your people were and all that. And I think that shows how admirable you are to an extent. Now, we have only seen one side, but again, messages don't really lie. My question is to you. Let's say US Nightvision reaches out and they say, hey, by the way, he fucked up. We admit it. We're sorry. Not we're sorry like I punched you in the face twice and I'm sorry for the second one. It's like we're apologizing. Because, Leetai, can you pull up that one thing I sent you right before this started? Have you seen this?
Dude, this guy, Hunter, I think is like a master troll.
I don't give a fuck if the master troll or truth. It is the most amazing. There's a GoFundMe for help save US Nightvision.
Come on.
Oh man,
Come
that is...
on. And is that the VP?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Of course it is. It wouldn't be funny if it wasn't. Now, Alex, you understand the...
I'll pay for the stockpile 3M that will not go to waste.
Yeah.
Who did this?
You understand the effect this has had, right, dude? There's a GoFundMe, albeit bullshit.
Yeah. Dude, it's beyond just... Well, I guess Hunter made it. Hunter, right? And he's the guy who started off with the I hope your turkey is burnt and your hand is dry.
Yeah.
And then Chris was gonna legal action on him for that.
I know. I gotta tell you, like,
Hunter's coming on whether he likes it or not. He doesn't know it yet, but goddamn it, I'll take it. I need to hear your story.
I gotta tell you, dude, I try to be very, very careful and I tread carefully with my comments, you know, both in person and also online. Like I'm very, very much like, I don't want to say anything that's going to come back to bite me, like, because the internet is forever.
You're right.
And so
GoFundMe, but go ahead.
Yeah, so I thought that was hilarious. I gotta tell you, every single one of these memes, like the whole thing is just, I just been sitting back and laughing. I call my buddy, I'm like, did you see this? This is hilarious. I'm just dying.
You have to. What do? You from what we've seen, from what you've presented, you've done nothing wrong other than say, I can't do it right now.
Yeah. I even said sorry, but I do want to work with you in the future.
Yeah. So bottom line is, I mean, we're over an hour here. Guys, I don't see anything that really facilitates to anything other than this dude was a douche. That's my personal opinion. That's not opinions of anybody else, but
I agree.
God, like your responses were so politically correct. Like I kind of wonder who you are, but we don't have time for that tonight.
I'm just someone who you know, I want to just like make cool shit, make good connections with people, be cool to people. It's like just don't make enemies. You know, don't spend your life like worrying about like someone's going to stab you in the back or just trying to like try to murk you.
Real quick, 2:15 p.m. yesterday. I apologize to Alex Code. We have been making wraps in house for over 10 years, and I have a similar product line on deck for some time. I will now refrain from doing so. I offer to make his for free and collaborate so we had stock at all times. Now, we can pause over there real quick. He's basically stating that this was his idea, but you happen to make it slightly different, so we don't want to take it from.
This is after he said that he was going to take over his entire business.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you. I mean, if maybe he's alluding to the mag wraps, right? And he's like, well, we make mag wraps, and it's kind of a similar product. So we offered to kind of extend our facilities, our production to
he should have specified. He can specify when he's going to get legal action involved. He can specify what product he's discussing, right? That's how I see it. Again, my actions are inexcusable. So, I mean, we don't even have to keep reading. He knows his actions are inexcusable.
I
But
don't know if he knows.
Yes,
he knows.
thank you.
He
I
knows.
don't think he knows, dude.
He knows.
I think
He knows. That's why he keeps posting stuff. That's why he sends half-assed apologies and then posts stuff like this. He knows.
he knows he got busted. I don't think he
Right.
really, because the thing is, this is the thing. This is Carnes. This is the thing. I keep hearing from other people that this is not unheard of from the guy. This is his playbook. He does this a lot. Like, you talk to enough people in night vision, they'll tell you, it's like, I've gotten this kind of exact same experience with it. I'm getting PTSD because I'm seeing the exact same thing as what happened to me. I just never called him out on it.
okay,
And I'm
so
like, you know,
real
yeah.
quick, can you, without, we do not want names.
Right.
And I don't want to, if you can't do this tonight, I have not interacted with this guy. And I promise you, had we interacted, it would not have gone as smoothly as what you performed here. Like, it would have been an absolute fucking shit show for him, because it would have just been this back and forth. And that is the wrong approach. You obviously took the right approach. But I challenge you and everybody else watching, number one, we do want to hear from US Night Vision. I don't think a company should be shut down for the views of one fuckface. But number two, I do want to know from all the other companies, if they had this, I can't.
Cyberbullying.
I mean, are phenomenal.
If they have dealt with this same thing from this guy, I want to know about it. I mean, basically, we're dealing with a serial fuckboy here, is how I see it, right?
I honestly, I don't see other dealers coming forward and saying like we've had the exact same experience, and I understand why, right? Because it's a very small industry.
Come forward. We're listening.
All I know is I was gonna fight for what I had, what I worked really hard for, and that's, I was gonna take it. And I didn't know his sincerity regarding whether or not he was gonna follow through on his actions or not. And the thing is, Kyle, the thing is, he makes mag wraps, right? And he makes like wraps for like safes and various other things. I have no problem with that. I have no interest in kind of working on his part of the market. He should, like, US Night Vision should keep making mag wraps, do whatever they want. That's fine. I have no concerns.
Alex, I saw something earlier that said basically he was mad at you for creating the smiley face. Like, that's such a general term. Like, you can't. Come on, like.
It's ridiculous. Like, to get mad over this, it was absolutely unfounded, and to have that kind of reaction over Alex's super polite and professional response to his inquiry is really insane.
So, Alex,
it's beyond.
I gotta tell you, this is not the first time I've had someone try to strong arm me, but they're usually much more subtle about it.
No, hang on.
Yeah.
Hang on. Who was the other ones that tried to strong arm? No, I'm just kidding.
Hey,
no. But people are very subtle about it. It's kind of like, hey, we can take on this stuff for you, and I'm like, no, I'm okay, thanks a lot. But like, no one's actually ever outlined their entire master plan, their entire sort of villainous James Bond like bad guy master plan of this is what I'm going to do to destroy you. It's just like usually people are much more subtle about it.
Come on, this is the VP.
Can you hang on just a second, Link? Photos. I'm trying to screenshot this, and you're running too fast. I have to Google how to screenshot on a Mac.
Oh my God. Hey, if Adam is Adam Tar still on?
Oh yeah, he's watching.
He made a comment about none of us will ever know what it's like to have $30,000 in vinyl in our possession. I just want him to know there are suburb moms out there that have $30,000 worth of toilet paper these days. So just so he's aware, there's competitors out there.
So Alex,
that's also like 2 boxes of ammo nowadays, right?
You're part of the problem. But Alex, again, give us a list of who are your vendors that are going to bring your product on. Short and sweet. What are their websites? Do you know? Weapon-Outfitters.com, right?
Weapon. Yeah. So from top to bottom, I go alphabetical, so I don't make any favors here. We got Good and Gear. Relic Raptor Solutions, which is through Derek Brown. I'm not sure if he has a website yet, but he's pretty well known on the Night Vision forums. Steel Industries.
Okay.
TNVC, which is very well known. TNVC. And VF1 Systems. as well as weapon outfitters.
Okay, so I mean, now for me, I buy from Weapon Outfitters a lot, like Lee Tai, Arms.
Yep, I've been there. I bought from them.
It's
Roy
unfortunate.
Lynn's good people.
Yeah, the money that we've spent there is probably, if they pooled our 3 together, it would be enough to flex on them and say, "Let me cut your fucking vinyl." Like, so if you had, Alex, before we close this out, because usually we don't go past an hour, dude. Okay, hold on. I have to remember how to do this.
It's Shift Command 3.
You're a motherfucker. I need these screenshots because you can't duplicate these. But anyhow, you came on tonight. We appreciate it very much. You were heard by a maximum of like 62 people. I think. So,
but we will tell your story.
Oh, buddy.
Thank you.
We will pass on.
You think his story spread? Wait until this one does. We have a tendency to spread after the fact. It's like herpes, right? You don't know you have it until
the gift that keeps on giving.
So I truly feel like we are being, or I am being rather malicious, but I don't feel like that's your intent. What is your message for US Night Vision? What is your ultimate stance? Are you still, I will gladly pick you up when we have time, or is it
probably not? Honestly, I probably will not take him on in any capacity whatsoever, simply because
if the CEO reached out to you and said, "I apologize for the actions of my vice president. He was butt chugging Kahlua in a hot tub. I apologize." And
give him a caveat. You can have my prince, but I want his job.
Do I need to keep going? Because I feel like I didn't want to give too many details. I'm just guessing at what he was doing. But if the CEO reached out and said, "Dude, I apologize. My VP fucked up," he did not apologize in the correct manner. He did nothing more than a crawfish. How can I make this up to you and pick you up when you are ready? Not when I want your product. It's when you are ready. Do you think you'd still have that stance?
I hold a grudge like you will not believe, Kyle.
Ooh, awesome.
I like this dude.
So
fair.
I still have. I'm 44, dude. I still have grudges against people from like high school.
Stop. Can you zoom in on him?
Yeah, he looks like you're 18.
You're 44.
No,
not on you, bro. We know you're 44.
I don't know how.
You're 44?
Yeah, man.
I
76.
You were going to get off this call.
Oh, you're 44.
And immediately get on some sort of like live gaming thing, like playing some.
I don't have time for games, man. I'm working too hard right now.
No, he's cutting fucking vinyl left and right. He's got to compete with you.
I got things to pad and I got things to do. No, just good genetics, man.
I mean, you can call it that. I want to call it low stress environment. Up until now.
Yeah. No, I've kind of.
Barnes is 28, and look at me.
I'm 28. I turned 52 tomorrow.
Yeah, but like the thing is, talking about grudges, I have no ill will towards US Night Vision. I don't wish them bad. I don't wish them bad sales. I just like their VP is pretty high up the food chain, dude.
I mean, dude, that's a reflection of their company. You can't just pass that by with an apology. That's why I was asking.
Yeah. And when you have someone that high up who's essentially representing your company on so many high deal levels, and you knowingly allow someone to continue maintaining this kind of behavior and doing this over and over again, I have serious qualms and trust issues with getting in bed with anyone that would be like that, right? Like that, especially from a company. So I have no interest in working with them. Sorry?
If he's part owner, I mean, it's not going to change.
Yeah, right. That's fair.
And to that end, it's just like there are so many dealers even the ones I'm working with right now, they represent various levels of, scale. U.S. Night Vision Outfitters. There you go. There's various different levels of scale that they represent within sort of like turnover in the night vision industry, right? They're doing a huge amount of sales for me, and there are so many others, including your own companies that have a reputable background that I would be happy to work with in the future when I'm able to expand to that degree. But I'm just not there yet.
Yeah,
So,
dude. I think just to interrupt you for a second here, we're way over what we usually do. Alex, I think that you have shown not only your integrity, I think you've shown just kind of how you can be in this world politically correct without needing to be. You didn't even try. It doesn't seem like you could have been one of those guys that took pre-orders and one of those guys that strung people along for months and months and months, but you didn't. You turned down money essentially to do the right thing. I think that sort of integrity really doesn't exist nowadays. And again, I want to say we only talk to one side of the story, but guys, I mean, I think this is collectively agreeing. So we've seen both sides of this fucking story. There's no real defense here.
No,
yeah, his replies on Facebook just get worse and worse, dude. It's he should have really just shut up, not said anything. And honestly, in this day and age of internet, like, people move on so quickly. Some people were moving on within 6 hours of the initial fallout. People are like, are we still talking about this?
Dude, we still have 24 viewers, and that dropped a second ago, and usually there's like 8 at the end of the evening. That's out of an hour. We're an hour, almost an hour and a half in here, and I think that's truly because most of the guys in the comments over here are wanting to buy night vision and or wraps. Now, most of these guys have their company already picked, but they want to hear the story because most of them are little guys. If you want to play that game, right? I'm a little guy in the world. Like,
the thing, Kyle, is like I try to be an open book, man. I just like it's too much work fronting and trying to pretend and be something that you're not, dude. It's like, I am who I am. I'm staying in my lane. I like certain things. If you like it too, awesome. It's just like, if you don't see the way I see things, that's okay too, man. Like, I have no problems. If you want to spend your money elsewhere, I have no problems. I don't mind. I like competition. Competition is good. Competition is good because it pushes people to not stagnate. It pushes people to do better. So I have no problems with US Night Vision. If they wanted to do wraps, that's fine. I don't care. Just don't rip me off. Don't try to bully me. And just leave me the F alone. That's all I'm asking for them to do. It's like, I don't even care about an apology. Just leave me the fuck alone.
So again, if the CEO if they reached out to you and said, hey, we reprimanded our vice president, we have taken care of that, we apologize, do you want our business? What would your answer be?
No.
That's all we need to hear.
I like it.
My respect level is gone. It could have gone either way, but my respect level for you stayed because, honestly, I'll say it for you and not on behalf of you. Fuck that. I mean, why would you?
I don't need their money. I don't need their business.
Do you want to come on next week and discuss other business things?
Sure, dude. I am an open book. I will gladly share my opinion on anything, dude. I was just I learned a long time ago, don't talk about certain things. Don't talk about religion. Don't talk about politics. At least not publicly. Because you're always going to piss people off.
Who do you vote for?
Yeah, let's go there, right?
Dude, we are almost 30 minutes past our usual time.
Okay.
Alex, thank you for coming on. And this was a
gentleman
hilarious story.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's been quite a crazy ride.
Dude,
I wish you all the best on
better. I hope you sleep better tonight because I know lately we've been talking up until 1, 2, 3 a.m. trying to just kind of have discussions. And guys, to be clear, this wasn't like to plan this out. It was simply he was trying to not, even after he was hurt, he was trying to not hurt anybody else.
Yeah, he's diplomatic the whole time.
Yeah, which is, I would have been completely different.
Well,
Alex, I can tell you, there's a part of me that wants to unleash scorched earth on people, but then the other part of me is just I don't want bad karma. I don't want to drag some dude's kids. That's not. I don't think that's happening either. I think that's bullshit.
Yeah, I think
like,
that's all fake too.
I think that's deflection. I think that's just him, just because he said the exact same thing before when his ass got dragged on another matter.
Alex,
very, very similar.
You could say right now, with everybody watching, we have 19 people watching. Sounds like a very small number.
Yeah.
Simply say, drag the other guy right now, and I promise you, the 19 guys in here would turn into 1900 overnight. We're small, but we're kind of that guy.
I can't say, dude. I don't mean ill will on anybody, dude. I just don't. Okay. I don't need it. I think the internet has become its own monster of his creating. I didn't create that thing. He did. Yeah. And so they have him now.
He tried to flex on you, dude, and you responded correctly. So anyway, guys, we're at 1 hour and 25 minutes. Harns, I know you didn't get to talk too much.
All good. I appreciate you guys having me. Alex, hey, one thing from one guy running a business to another. Keep doing what you're doing, man. It's inspirational to see somebody that comes up against adversity and handles it the way that you do. So, or the way you did in this capacity. So keep doing what you're doing. That will always be the way that your resilience will always pay off. So
thank you very much. Thanks a lot,
Alex. I want a couple different patterns from you. I will buy them. Just message me after this. Let me buy them. I don't want anything from you for free.
He says that, but he wants everything for free.
No, taking these purchases from your vendor soon enough.
I know Lee Tai, I know Harn, I know a couple of these guys here that I've sold Nightvision to want to try these. So if you could just, we don't need a hookup on pricing. We don't want to step on any toes, but I want to get the wraps in the hands of the individuals that we could actually try them.
Yeah, no, let's do that.
Mine fell out of my Ranger the other day, and I ran it over on accident. Does that count as? It's a long story. We don't have time for that. I didn't need night vision at the time. I had it on the dash, and it fell out. That's also does that count as heavy usage?
That might be a little bit heavier than what's in the spec.
So I need some vinyl wraps for that because the scratches on that motherfucker are not light.
So can you make wraps with Bert's face on them?
I knew this was gonna fucking happen. I knew this was gonna go.
So right now I don't really have the option to make small runs of custom prints.
What if I told you my wife did?
Then what we could do is she could make that print and she could mail it to me, and I will do the cutting, and then I'll mail it back to you, and you can have.
We don't need
a Hego.
We need your permission to do it, and then you sell it.
Okay.
It would be disrespectful if we did it, and you know what I mean. We're doing what we're saying we're not going to do.
All joking aside,
we will make all of it.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, dude.
Hey, thank you very much for having me and letting me share my slide.
One more time, website and or dealers.
Okay. What? Yeah. So my website is Nocorium, NOCORIUM.com. And I do all my sales through 6 dealers, Goonan Gear, Steel Industries, VF1. They all have product right now in limited supplies. And then within about 2.5 to 3 weeks, Relic Raptor, which is Derek Brown, TNVC, and Weapon Outfitters will be carrying the product as well. And they're all going to get a huge restock. Like we're talking about hundreds of units each. So across all of them, over 1,000 units.
How many different?
Sorry?
How many patterns do you have?
What they're going to be carrying about 6 patterns. Some of them might be carrying fewer because some of them didn't really want to carry things like Anvis 9s, and some of them didn't want to carry Sentinels because those are less common.
I think he was more talking about patterns of colors, not patterns of.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I have
Cryptech.
I don't know. It's all licensed. So here's the other thing. Yeah. Here's the other thing.
Don't. You're doing good where you are.
Yeah. The multicam that I use is all licensed. as far as I know, the multicam that US Night Vision has is not licensed. So I never try to pick a fight with them and say Cry should go after them because Cry should go after them. But that's not really my intent. I don't want to fuck over another business.
You waited
So
until the end of this fucking video to say that?
Yeah.
You talked for an hour and a half, and now you drop it.
Because the thing is, I could literally go after them and have Cry or
Cry people. We could have ended that at 15
Dude.
minutes.
Yeah, the thing is, if someone was really motivated, they could pretty much send a C&D and go for damages for loss of sales after them for that infringement. But that's not me, and I've known about this all along. But that's not me, and I'm not trying to do that. So I'm staying out of it, right? So I have the ability to make I make multicam Tropic, multicam Black, and Arid, and I can also make Alpine if people want. I've also, on this next run, I'll be expanding to Coyote Brown, Ranger Green, and M81 Woodland.
Oh, Woodland.
Hey, you won't remember this, but if you do, call me on Coyote Brown because that's kind of my jam.
Okay, awesome.
Lee Ty likes that M81, right?
Yeah, I like Woodland a lot, man.
Yeah.
Well,
I grew up in the 80s, man, so I'm all about the Woodland drip.
I know. I still don't believe you. I need to see a birth certificate.
8 years old or some shit. We don't want to see it tonight. As soon as we drop off of this, we'll stop live streaming.
Yeah.
Us four. We need a fucking driver's license.
I think it's a result of Hawaii just handed out birth certificates during.
It has to be.
Our previous president had a Hawaiian birth certificate.
I just promised. You taught me how to screenshot, and I have since forgot, so I can't do it again. Guys, all right, we got to wrap this up. It's been 31 minutes.
Thanks everyone for listening. We'll talk to you.
See ya.
Thanks.